Okay, so yeah, I saw that. I had to sit there and watch the little panel of Nicki Minaj talking with Erika Kirk, right? I don't know if this was like a Turning Point USA event or something, but that joint was glamorized like a motherfucker. I don't know if that got some more money and some funding after Charlie Kirk's unfortunate assassination. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know what Nicki Minaj is up to with this. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, it's a publicity stunt or anything like that. Now, the joke is that she's trying to get her husband pardoned. Wouldn't surprise me, right? I mean, kiss down Trump's ass, he'll give you $1,000. I mean, just that's what it sounds like. Um, when you get into the situation of this whole thing, I mean, I sat through and I listened to some stuff, and I sat there and I listened to the whole thing. I didn't go, ugh, I'm throwing away my Nicki Minaj CDs. I'm never getting rid of Nicki Minaj, bro. Like, I don't, like, people are dumb as hell. Y'all think I'm not gonna have my Nicki Minaj Pink Friday vinyl that I scurried the internet to get? Y'all done lost your minds. But I'm interested in this little rebranding. This is exactly what Amber Rose did at this time in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Remember, she was all out there at the Trump rallies and telling people to vote for Donald Trump, and my dad was a soldier and all this other stuff. And I'm looking like this was the woman that gave us the slut walk. Slut walk Amber Rose, be in your truth, be this, that, and the third. Now you want to be talking about being Republican and voting for Donald Trump, and I was like, huh, the irony. And now you got Nicki Minaj, hip hop for women changed after Nicki Minaj hit the scene. You know what I'm saying? Put them legs to the air, busting it down, da 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 da, this, that, and the third, and raunchy lyrics. Not even raunchier than some of the stuff now. Nicki Minaj, in my opinion, is tame to what we get now. You see what I'm saying? But now she up there. She clearly is not used to talking like she got some common sense because, as you can see, she was struggling to get them words out without cursing and saying the N word and saying my. You know what I'm saying? Like, go watch that interview with her when she was talking to that gay white boy in London, and look at her talking with this one. She know how to talk when she can say whatever she want, but when she gotta regulate herself and talk like an adult for 20 minutes, it seemed like she was having a hard time. That's not saying Nicki Minaj is dumb. I don't think she's dumb, but it is just something to see when you try to rebrand yourself. It's a little bit harder when you've been doing the same thing for 15, almost 20 years. It's a little different, ain't it? Ain't it? So now we're looking at this situation where it's like, well, damn, now we got to figure out how to fix ourselves. And I understand pretty much Nicki Minaj saying, she was baptized at 13, that's that and the third. I'm like, okay, all that, it's interesting to hear. But then we hear your music. And this is judgmental as much as it's going to possibly be because I can't figure out how to not judge her on this, except for saying like I still love Nicki Minaj. I don't give a damn because I don't have a political party anyway. So somebody being voting for Republican or voting Democrat don't mean nothing to me. I still listen to Beyonce. She was obviously, in my opinion, I think Beyonce voted for Trump and lied, but um, there's a lot of artists who obviously went for Democrat. There's a lot of artists that I probably like that went for Republican, but as far as this Nicki Minaj situation is concerned, everybody's saying this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, if Nicki Minaj was twerking at a Kamala Harris rally saying, let's kill black kids happily for baby deletions, this wouldn't be a problem. But since she was up there, she was kind of regulating herself and composing herself, it seemed to cause some problem amongst the Nicki Minaj fans. The other problem that I seem to have is that she was up there and she was talking. I'm sitting here like, you do know we know who you are, right? Like again, the judgmental part comes out. I'm like, I know who you are. I've been listening to you since I was in my last years of middle school, early high school. I know who you are. I know who the dude you're married to is. You see what I'm saying? And that's the part that gets on my nerves. But again, as somebody said before, a whore is a final form is a conservative Christian woman out of the blue. So I don't know. I don't know. And somebody was saying, they paid her, and they probably did. You gotta pay somebody. I mean, Kamala Harris paid Beyonce 10 million. So of course Nicki Minaj got paid to speak at the turning point. But also, I genuinely believe she did vote for Donald Trump. That's why she was so quiet during the 2024 election. That's why she was quiet after the election, in my personal opinion. I genuinely think that she did vote for Donald Trump. I genuinely believe that. Which I kind of told people. I said, these black celebrities ain't really on our team like that. I was like, these black celebrities will vote for their pockets over anyone else's best interest. Anybody who is entitled to keep the rich rich, they're going to vote for that nigga. Period. Maybe some outliers, but she ain't one of them. She ain't one of them. So when all this talk is just like, yeah, she up there, and I will say where she did get me, but I was a little concerned when she said boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I said, see, that's a statement that was used for a lot of bullshit that was going down throughout history. I don't really like the whole boys will be boys thing because that pretty much enables a lot of bullshit. I don't know if she realizes this, but I think she might have just started a real bad cataclysm, especially amongst some conservative white boys who really think they can do whatever the fuck they want to people. So now that's a problem that we have to deal with going forward because we don't know what she might have just caused by saying that shit. I don't really like the boys with the boys statement. I never really did like it because it enabled a lot of shit, even amongst the black boys, obviously, and Asian boys, and any other boy for that matter. And so that would concern me. But I do love the fact that she's right. You're allowed to be a man. You are. You should never be upset about who you are as a man. Point blank period. You should never be upset about that. You're allowed to be a man, bro. But that boys will be boys thing and you're allowed to be a man have two different meanings, in my opinion. Now, the thing that really stuck out to me was when she was saying how she doesn't want little girls thinking that they're ugly because they have to go through what black girls went through. That part stuck to me because that's the part that I like to hear when she was saying black girls, our self esteem was destroyed. I don't want any girl to feel that way. And honestly, that's the most Nicki Minaj thing she said up there. That is the most Nicki Minaj thing she said on that panel because Nicki Minaj has always treated women, no matter what race or color they are, nicely. That is a fact. I can never doubt Nicki Minaj for that because she has. She has. And she let anybody be a Barbie. She'll let a white girl be a Barbie. She'll let an Asian girl be a Barbie. She'll let a Hispanic girl be a Barbie. She'll let a Dominican girl be a Barbie. She'll let an Indian girl be a Barbie. A Pacific Islander girl. If you're a Nicki fan, you're a Nicki Barbie. You're a Nicki Barbie. So I can honestly say that was the realest, most Nicki Minaj thing she said up there the whole time. And when she was saying like, I want women to be able to be soft and feminine and all these other things, which is what she was trying to be up there on that stage. I was like, that's exactly what men are asking for, and I think that's a good thing to say because I don't think women understand it. And I know a lot of black women are going to look at that thing Nicki Minaj said and take that shit as an attack, even though they really should listen to that section. That's the section I would rather black women listen to than try to talk shit about it because she was talking to Erika Kirk. But whatever, we already know that's really not going to happen. I would love to see a difference in that, but Democrat mind control is a motherfucker when it comes to the black community, especially the B dub. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to see how this takes place and see where the melting pot ends up as far as this conversation that they just had with Erica Kirk. Um, really, it just comes down to the rebranding of rich black people trying to fit into whatever society we're about to be heading into in the next 3 4 years coming up. And that's just what it is. And honestly, I think a lot of people should really pay attention to this from a brain standpoint, not from a my feeling standpoint, because this is the shit that y'all should be really focusing on, but not because she's talking to a Republican. Y'all need to focus on the culture of what's happening in the country. And y'all need to start getting a real nuanced perspective. And instead of like, I feel as though that, no, y'all need to start looking at stuff, looking at the facts, looking at the numbers and going, okay, I need to start really getting what's going on instead of acting like my feelings matter over what's really going on. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen with the black community, especially. We are the most feelings based community. So to see Nicki Minaj up there blew my fucking mind. Just to throw that out there. Like I was flabbergasted. But I listened to the whole thing. And yeah, I didn't feel comfortable about the whole handsome, dashing president and the assassin JD Vance and there's just great men up there. I was like, okay, Nicki Minaj, I don't know what you're doing with this shit, but okay. You goofy right now. I don't know why, but okay. Is it because you want that dude you with pardoned? Probably. But that's none of my business at the end of the day. So that's all I really much got to say on the topic. There's going to be better breakdowns of this than me. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all in the next one.